Hi y'all. So this was my plan. Had it all mapped out. It would have been beautiful, but that's not what happens when you get to the hardware store. So plans are going to change. We're going to now do just a very simple top with a fluting with some wood hooks. And this will be where we can hang our towels, and we don't have to walk halfway across the room to the towel bar to get our towels. So let's jump right into this. Okay, so my plan is to work from the top to the bottom. That way I know that my top measurement is exactly the height that I want it to be and lined up exactly where I want it to go. I'm going to use just my 1.5-inch brad nails. Really don't need much to hold the wood onto the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with this piece of tile here. So I'm going to make sure that measurement is right, and then I will work my way over to the other side. Oh, it's like butter. That was a perfect measurement. Money. No one's going to be hanging on this, so it's not like it's life or death that it doesn't fall off the wall. Okay, so I have my main beam up. Now I'm going to bring the magic a little bit. I've never done this, so this is a first for me. I have just some acrylic latex caulking, and I'm going to load that into my Craftsman caulking gun, which is one of my favorite tools in the entire world. And it helps because I punctured my hand yesterday hiking. So we are going to just attempt to put this fluting up, and it's just going to run alongside the bottom here. But, you know, with all cuts, nothing's perfect. So my idea is I'm going to run a seam of caulking under here before I put these up, or along the top of this as I put them up. So we'll see if this works out. I think with this one, I'm going to try to do a little bit more than I did on the last one. Number one rule of caulking is don't forget your baby wipes. Give me a second. Best tool in your carpentry bundle. Gosh, this stuff dries quick. It's like I took a nap in between. Okay, so I need to do like between the first one and the second one. So it's like I almost can do like if I were to take it and just let's dry it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Okay, let's just finish the rest of these up. So what I've noticed is the caulking is kind kind of spooling in these fluted details. So I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and kind of work it out of the couple more to go. This is my last little piece. I'm gonna just dry fit it first to make sure that it's still like a glove. I think that actually worked out really well. I'm gonna go back and do some caulking here where the flutes meet. And then we'll go to putting the bottom on. First project in the new house, so I want to make sure that I am really focusing on every project and not trying to rush through all of them. We lived in our last house for 20 years, so I did multiple projects in multiple rooms year after year. And this one, I really want to pick the right thing so I can live with it a little bit longer. I mean, that means really like watching my finishing, making sure that I'm doing everything as best as I can. I'm just gonna finish this off by putting another piece of 2.5-inch molding on the bottom, which should theoretically fit, but again, I might just run a whole like bead of caulking on the bottom and see how that works. And I have a lot of caulking in the fluting, so. We'll just do some cleanup work now. Now I'm just gonna run a seam across the top and the bottom. One thing I'm noticing as everything's kind of drying is that these nail holes, even with the caulking in it, is still really evident. So I'm gonna try putting some spackling into those holes and see if it helps. I mean, I know this is for drywall, but it'll work on wood too, right? Why not? I think the one thing to remember is like, no one's paying you to do this, it's your house. So do what works for you. That already looks better. I'm being indecisive. And you may never see this if I decide never to actually do it. I'm thinking it looks top heavy. And so my thought is to add the actual panel molding still in this area. So I'm gonna see what that looks like. Mock it up a little bit. Okay, so I made these little jigs up so I could have easier way of measuring. Try to save some of this tape for later. I'm gonna move this line up some. Okay, now I just need to get the measurements from the top to the bottom, do some caulking, do some spackling, and then put some paint on. Okay, well, welcome back. This is day 2 of the weekend project. Oh, look at that. It's like a perfect measurement. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in with some wood filler. Try that instead of the spackling to do these seams and caulking, and then we'll move on to paint. So I'm going to use this mid-wax wood filler and just start working my way through cleaning up all these edges. I very rarely use tape, but turning over a new leaf in this house. So we're gonna try and protect certain things and not just be reckless. That's paint. Okay, so the color I selected is the color Clary Sage by Sherwin-Williams, and I got it in the semi-gloss showcase paint. And it's gonna sound ridiculous to paint, have selected the color because of the reason I did. So our house is the color rosemary green, and I thought it was just sweet that it was named after a herb. I kind of wanted to keep the theme going, so here we go. First bit of paint on the new house. Already glad I put the drop cloth down because I already painted on the floor. dry really well for a few hours, and it looks good. Like, I don't see like a ton of touch-up spots, like maybe a couple, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off and start putting up the hooks. So I've been debating on where to put these. And I could be really calculated about it if I wanted to, but I feel like sometimes the eyeball knows better than the tape measure. So what I'm gonna do is probably do like 2 kind of mirroring the center panel, and then whatever looks right, left and right. So like 1 here, 1 here. Let's just start with 1 for right now. See how I feel about it. And they're up, and I think they look great with the sage color. The really plays off of the other pieces of furniture that we have in the space, and it's really going to just be so much more convenient for how we live and how we use our space. So just showing you can do a project in a few hours over a span of a few days and really do something that makes your space more unique and more you. So I hope you enjoyed this little journey behind the scenes in my life. And there are so many more projects to go. This is only one, but of 4 walls in this room. And I don't know if I'm wainscoting all the space, but I definitely have a lot more work to make this space work for us and our family. And I really hope that you enjoyed the journey.